Hey folks, today we're doing worksheet number 2, which is all about balancing equations. So, we're going to start with some simple ones that are already put into symbols for us. And again, I'll just work as if I were doing these. These are live, these are not prepared. So, I have mercury, I have 1 on both sides, so that balances. I have 1 oxygen on the left and 2 on the right, so to fix that I have to put a 2 in front of here. But the moment I do that, I just broke the mercury, so I have to put 2 mercuries here. So I now have 2 mercuries and 2 oxygens, so I am balanced. So I'm done with that one. All right, let's look at HCl. I notice that I have 1 H on the left and 2 H's on the right, so I just put a 2 in front of the HCl. So I now have 2 hydrogens, 2 chlorines on the left, 2 chlorines on the right, and 1 magnesium on the left and 1 magnesium on the right. I am now balanced. All right, how about CH4? Well, I have 1 carbon on the left, 1 carbon on the right. I have 4 hydrogens on the left and only 2 on the right, so I have to put a 2 in front of there. I now have 2 plus 2 more for a total of 4 oxygens. I only have 2 oxygens on the left, so I have to put a 2 in front of my oxygens. I am now balanced. Okay, how about this one? This is a very common reaction. This is glucose, and it's called respiration. It's what our bodies do. We have 6 hydrogens on the left, 6 carbons on the left, so I have to put 6 carbons on the right. I have 12 hydrogens on the left, so I need 12 on the right, so I'm putting a 6 in front of there. 6 times 2 is 12. And oxygens, well, I've got 6 here, plus I've got 2 more for 8. Let's see what I have over here. I have 12 here, and I have 6 more over here for a total of 18. So let's see, I've got 6 over here, so I need 12 more over here, so I'll put a 6 in front of that. I am now balanced. All right, another very common one is water. I will notice that I have 2 oxygens on the left and only 1 on the right, so I have to put a 2 here, which means I need to have a 2 in front of my H2. I am also now balanced. All right, on number 6. The thing I quickly notice here is I have 2 hydrogens and 3 hydrogens. So when I see that, I know that I have to reverse my 2's and my 3's to make a total of 6 hydrogens on both sides. When I do that, I have 2 nitrogens on the left, 2 on the right. I'm balanced. Okay, what do I do here? Well, I've got 1 nitrogen on the left and 1 nitrogen on the right, and I've got 3 oxygens on the left and 3 on the right, so that's a problem. So one of the things I notice is an odd-even problem is I have an odd number of oxygens on my left because of this guy. I have an even number, so that means I have to have an even number, so I have to always put a 2 in front of my odd number. When I do that, that means that I have to put a 2 over here on the right. So I now have 2 nitrogens, and I have 4 oxygens, so I am now balanced. Okay, Al2O3, again, I notice 3 oxygens on the left, 2 on the right. I need to have 6. So I put a 2 there, which means I need 4 aluminum, and I'm now balanced. Okay, here I have CaO and I have H2O. Oxygens are on 2 places on the left, so let's try and balance everything else first. I have 1 calcium, and I have 1 calcium. I have 2 hydrogens on the left and 2 hydrogens on the right. Well, everything's balanced except for oxygens. I have 2 oxygens on the right, and I have 2 oxygens on the left. I'm balanced, don't have to do anything. All right, well, now we have word equations. So now what we have to do is convert from word equations to so that I can balance them. All right, so I have a hydrogen gas. Well, hydrogen, remember, is a Brinkelhoff element, so it's diatomic. And it's reacting with iodine. Iodine is also a Brinkelhoff element, so it is diatomic. And it produces hydroiodic acid, which means that we're dealing with hydrogen iodide. So that is Hi, hydrogen iodide. And because iodine is -1, hydrogen is +1, they cancel. So that is my words to formulatic equation, although now I have to balance. 2 hydrogens on the left, 2 on the right. I cannot change my subscripts down here. I'm not allowed once I've balanced them for charges, so I can only play with coefficients. So I now have 2 HIs, so I have 2 hydrogens, 2 iodines. I am great. All right, how about this one? Sulfur reacts with oxygen. Remember, oxygen is a Brinkelhoff element. It's diatomic. and it's producing sulfur dioxide, so that's SO2. So I have one sulfur on both sides and two oxygens on both sides. I am balanced without doing anything else. How about number 12? Calcium acetate. Well, that's calcium, and acetate is C2H3O2. Now, calcium has a +2 charge. Acetate has a -1 charge, so I need two acetates. It reacts with sodium carbonate. Carbonate is one of those you like to memorize, which is CO3. It has a 2- charge. Sodium has a +1, so it's Na2CO3. And it's producing calcium carbonate, calcium, CO3, 2 +, 2-, they cancel, and sodium acetate, sodium acetate, Na, C2H3O2, and again, +1, -1, they cancel each other out. So that's my equation. Now I have to balance it. I have one calcium on both sides. I have two acetates on the left, only one on the right, so I have to use a coefficient, which is a 2. And I notice that I have two sodiums on the left and two on the right now. And I have one CO3, so I'm now balanced. Number 13, iron combines with oxygen and water to produce iron 3 hydroxide. Well, iron is +3, hydroxide is -1, so I cross them and I get FeOH3. Right? Well, let's see what happens here. Well, I've got one iron on the left, I've got two hydrogens, and I've got 3. Notice I did not do the oxygens because they're in multiple places, although right now they are 3, so that wouldn't have mattered. But I have 2 hydrogens on the left, 3 on the right, so what I have to do is put a 2 here and a 3 here to make 6 hydrogens. The moment I do that, I now have I now have 2 irons, so I have to refix that. And now I have 6 hydrogens. I've taken care of that. I have to deal with my oxygens. Over here I have a total of 6 oxygens. And so here I have 3, and here I have 2, and I definitely have a problem. What did I do wrong? I have 2 irons, I have 6 oxygens, 3, 4, 5. Gee, I'm stuck. It looks like what I need is like one, let me see, I've got 3 here, so I need 1.5 oxygens. Well, that's not going to work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try doubling everything. So I'm going to change this number here to a 4. I'm going to change this 3 here to a 6. And I'm going to change this 2 to a 4. Right. So now I have, stop it, so now I have 4 irons on both sides, and I have 12 hydrogens on both sides. That all still works. But now over here I have, let's see, I have 12 oxygens on the right, 12 oxygens on the right, and here I have 6, so I need 6 more, so that means I could put a 3 there. Now I'm balanced. That was a pretty tough one. I had to do that a couple times to get through that. All right, sulfur trioxide. Sulfur trioxide is bubbled through water to produce sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid. Must be sulfate. Sulfate is SO4, hydrogen sulfate. And so that's H2SO4 because sulfate has a -2 charge. And when I look at it, I have 2 hydrogens, I have 1 sulfur, I have got 4 oxygens, so I do not even have to balance that, it's already there. Alright, copper bottom cooking pans turn black because copper combines with oxygen. Remember, oxygen's diatomic, O2, to produce copper 2 oxide, CuO, 2 + 2-, they cancel each other out. So I need to have 2 oxygens, I need to have a 2, which means I need to have 2 coppers, and I'm done with 15. Alright, magnesium hydroxide. Ooh, that's one that is always easy to make a mistake on. Magnesium hydroxide. Hydroxide is -1, magnesium is +2, so remember you have to have 2 hydroxides, but they must be in parentheses. And this neutralizes hydrochloric acid, which is HCl, +1 -1, to produce magnesium chloride, which is Mg. Cl and magnesium is 2+, chlorine is 1-, so it's MgCl2, and water. All right, now this one you kind of have to think of water. Remember, we treat it like HOH, where the hydrogen is coming from one thing and the OH is coming from something else. Right. So I've got Mg, I've got one of those. I've got 2 chlorines over here, so I have to put a 2 in front of here, which gives me 2 H's. I think of that as an H and another H, and 2 OH's. There's an OH, there's an OH, so that gives me 2 waters. Let's just check this to make sure we're right. 1 magnesium, 2 chlorines, 4 hydrogens. I have 4 hydrogens. I've got 2 here and 2 here, so I'm good. And 2 oxygens, and both of those are there. So yes, I have in fact balanced. All right, folks, that's it for this one. Off to bigger and better things. If you have questions, please let us know. We'd be happy to help you. Have a great day. Bye-bye.